Next on, I'll call upon Dr. Prasad to talk about his work with Gram Panchayats and using technology to drive down grassroots democracy.
Thank you very much. I got lots of slides, so my boss has told me to finish it within 7 to 8 minutes. I'll try to do that. We are talking about integrated solution for capacity building for 21st century Gram Panchayats with navigated learning technology and workflow automation technology, which is enabled by Petri net modeling, blockchain, and white space. So I'm sure many of these words are probably new to you. I'll just run through that as quickly as you can. Now, for those of you who do not know what Gram Panchayat is, we have in our country, we have 240,000 Gram Panchayats. Each Gram Panchayat is a local government for few villages in our country. And we have approximately 30 lakh elected representatives every 5 years. And out of those 30 lakhs, probably about 50 to 60% of them are partially literate or almost non-literate, and many of them are postgraduates. So we have a spectrum of people. And we also have approximately 30 lakh functionaries, which are bureaucrats that are staying there for a number of years in the Gram Panchayats. And of course, there are about 800 million rural citizens. So we have got this kind of ecosystem that we are looking at. So when we look at how do I build capacity building of Gram Panchayats, the vision is to build the Gram Panchayat institution as well as the people that manage the Gram Panchayat. So how do I bring transparency, accountability, participatory democracy, and efficiency in a Gram Panchayat for 21st century? So we are looking at, first is the domain competency. That means the elected officials need to know what they are supposed to do, because many of them get elected, they have no clue why they got elected. Okay? These are the realities for those of you who do not know. And then there are approximately 130 processes that happen in a Gram Panchayat. And I will just take that as an example later. And that has to be automated, otherwise the processes are extremely slow, and that's one of the major reasons for the inefficiency in a Gram Panchayat. And lastly, in order to do all this, we eventually need internet. And that's where we need the GP infrastructure, and I'm going to talk about what is white space technology. So how do I build domain competency for the 30 lakh elected representatives across India every 5 years? So today, National Institute of Rural Development and State Institute of Rural Development in our country, they have books that they produce, and they give it 3 to 5 day training for the elected representatives as soon as they get elected. And for the next 5 years, whatever they have hopefully learned in those 3 to 5 days, they have to use it. And the domains that they need to know, there are approximately 19 to 20 domains. For example, they have to know what is 73rd Amendment. I don't know how many of you know 73rd Amendment. Anybody here? Okay, so 3 out of 200, right? So that means they have to be taught what is 73rd Amendment. They need to know what is finance and accounting. They should know what is project management. They should know how to manage a scheme, how to manage grievance redressal. These are all the ideas that they are taught between 3 to 5 days, and very rarely they learn anything because many of them cannot even read the books. And the interesting thing is, the same methodology of training is used whether you're a non-literate, partially literate, or a postgraduate. So what his outcome is poor skills development and lack of utilization of domain competency in managing the Gram Panchayat. So what we are looking at is a new technology called navigated learning technology. And we are working with an organization called Guru Foundation, where they have developed a technology called GPS for learning, where we locate the learner, whether that person is primary graduate, middle school graduate, high school graduate, or a college graduate. We know exactly what his competency is in different domains. And based on locating what his competency is, we direct them through a path of learning. And that has been used for K-12 education in USA, India, Argentina, in different countries, supported by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Google, etc. And what we have done is, we have taken that navigated learning technology for training the elected representatives in our country for 18 domains 95 competencies, and 700 micro competencies. And this has to be done in multiple languages. In Karnataka, it has to be in Kannada. Maharashtra, it has to be in Marathi. It has to be taught in those languages. And just now, Gaurav Shah mentioned how we need to use multimodal, or we call it multiple intelligences training. Some people have to be taught through singing. Some people have to be taught through activities, etc., etc. So what we do is we locate the competency of each elected representative and personally take them through a path of learning so that they become competent in all these 19 domains. So here is an example. The black line shows you what is their level today in different domains. And the orange line shows you what the destination should be. Okay? So we can actually track each and every individual, what his competencies in different domains, and take him to the higher level. And this is the learning pathway that is used in order to train them. So this is all done on as a mobile app. So we can actually track each and every student for his skill and his mindset and locate it with precision as to where he stands and how we take them through different paths. And we can also, you can see here, you can track every student for every domain, what his competency level is, either low, medium, or high. After doing that, once they get the competency of what the processes are, what they should know in order to govern a Gram Panchayat, we have developed a workflow automation solution that actually provides, there are 130 processes that are there in a Gram Panchayat, from budget estimation to project proposal to procurement to G2G interaction, citizen grievance, and so on. So what we have done is, and if you look at each process, this is just a process of how a civil works is done in Gram Panchayat. Okay? This is the complexity of the process in our government. And like this, there are 130 processes. And this is called Petrinet modeling. We have modeled every process in a Gram Panchayat and integrated all that through what we call a workflow automation technology. Not only that, now we want to do is, as you know, whatever interaction that happens in the government has to be trusted. That means if I get a khata for my building or a driver's license or a PAN card, that is a trusted transaction. And many of you know, today blockchain is the approach for trusted transactions. And we are now looking at blockchain-based workflow management for digital government, because that is the only way we'll have legally binding, increased security, immutable and secure transaction for every transaction that happens, and including what we call smart contracts. Okay. At the end of the day, today, when we talk about digital government, we look at websites, interaction, transaction. Now we are looking at, that is what happens in most of the developed countries. We are looking at how we can actually build participatory democracy where every village citizen can actually interact with the Gram Panchayat on a real-time basis, and that is what we call liquid democracy, and we are looking at using blockchain for liquid democracy. Lastly, in order to do this, we need an infrastructure where we need internet to the last meter. That means every citizen in every village must be able to operate or work with the Gram Panchayat on his mobile, and for that, we are using a technology called white space technology. Many of you know we cannot pull optical fiber to every village. It's very, very expensive. So the white space technology has one transmitter on the Gram Panchayat, and approximately 5 to 8 kilometer radius, it is possible to get 100 Mbps Wi-Fi speed. And this uses, if you remember the old television antenna that we all used to have on top of our houses, and that is the frequency that's available today that is possible to use in order to get this white space. So journey till now, we have done 25 Gram Panchayats. We started off with one Gram Panchayat long time ago, and we have won a few awards and things like that. I will not go into the detail. That's the Bihar Innovation Award we won. And most importantly, what do the stakeholders in the Gram Panchayat say? The village citizens are very happy. The GP functionaries are very happy. Elected representatives are very happy, including the principal secretaries like the IAS officers who are very happy with this kind of workflow automation technology that we have already done. So our whole idea is to take it across the country, Some of the implementation challenges that we have found, the most important one is transfers and change in decision makers in the government. As many of you know, the IAS officers get changed, ministers get changed, then suddenly all our progress goes down the tube. And of course, low technology, non-integrated software, and cultural resistance to change in some of the areas. And most importantly today is no permission by the TRAI, that's the Telecom Regulatory Commission, for that particular spectrum that we are working on. So last slide. So basically, current status is we got the navigated learning technology, the blockchain integration technology, and the white space technology integrated to build the capacity in the gram panchayats. Basically, what we are looking for is, of course, funding and NGO partners that can work with us across the country. Thank you very much.